Welcome to the Sisters with Swords podcast, where we explore God's Word and discover His design for women as we wield our weapons of warfare on the battlefield of everyday life. We're your hosts, Holly Knight and Janie Burkett. Hey there, sisters, and welcome to another episode of Sisters with Swords. Janie, Jinx.
I know, we both got the
we're wearing leopard
print.
Leopard 3/4 zip.
Yeah.
Pullover things. I mean, like, really, we look like Tweedledee and Tweedledum here.
And
we're twinning.
I do think also even like the color palette is indicative, because it's like yours is a little darker, mine's a little lighter.
Yeah, and that's, with the hair, also the personalities.
Oh, okay.
Also the senses of humor.
We even have on slides.
We do have, look. I've got on black slides. Janie's got on cream colored slides. I mean, like, we are twinning. We did this last week too, right? I showed up at your house and I had on a black hoodie sweatsuit with my black slides, and you had on a white
hoodie sweatsuit. Yeah,
with your white slides.
Yeah,
we do this often.
We do.
We've shared a brain for, well, we're the same age right now.
We are
so
the same
for 42
age right now.
years.
Yeah.
And my birthday is next month in December, and no one will remember because baby Jesus steals my thunder every year, and that's okay. That's been my cross to bear for many years now.
Well, but
decades. So,
but really, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He stole my thunder.
No, he did not.
Okay.
He was not born on December 25th.
That's right. He was born on September 11th.
3 BC. That's true.
Look it up. Not even joking.
Like, you can go, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
You guys wanted to know.
Let's get a history lesson.
If you look at Revelation 12, verses 1 through 7, it talks about, let me just.
Oh my goodness, we're doing this.
The people need to know. It's the woman, the child, and the dragon. It's a great sign appeared in the heaven, and the woman clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet, and the crown of 12 stars on her head. So, like, all of these things from 1 through 7, really 1 through 9, are about, this is John, John the Revelator. It's his birth story of Jesus.
Correct.
Okay. And
because not all of the book of Revelation is prophecy.
No, some of it's what has happened, what is happening, what will happen.
Yes,
so
it's all of it.
That's the signs in the heavens. So if you know what they are, and you can go look all this stuff up, it's like, Jupiter and the sun and the moon and the earth, and then a 12-star constellation. I can't remember which one. But like, if you look at all of these things together, how they lined up exactly as it says in Revelation, obviously we know when, you can do the math and know when did it come in time when all of these things lined up exactly like that. Well, it was September 11th, 3 BC.
So there you go. That's Jesus' actual birthday.
Which also makes sense because, the shepherds out in the field. Also, that would have been the Feast of Trumpets that year. So anyways.
Thanks for that lesson. So
I'm just trying to vindicate the Lord's name, because he's not stealing your thunder.
It's his birthday party that steals my thunder.
Okay, that's Constantine.
Okay, but
he's the one that would have made it, December 25th. So you pick a bone with Constantine, not our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
All I'm saying is my birthday is December 17th, and every year nobody cares because of baby Jesus. That's all I'm saying. Because it's the birthday of the King, Emmanuel, God with us. Oh, holy night. But I'm wanting it to be, oh, holy night. And it's just not. But that's fine. That's fine. Anyways, we are the same age. We do share a brain. We do dress alike often. And that just took a turn. Now y'all know Jesus' actual birthday. Okay, but that's not what I want to talk about, Janie. Thanksgiving is in 2 days. What are we eating? What are we cooking? We've already, the group text has already been blowing up this morning between the women of our family, figuring out what's happening. And do you
guys know about a pie cakin'?
The pie cakin'. I don't understand your fascination with it.
Let me You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna read you guys the description. You can keep talking about it while I pull this up.
Well, I'll give it. It's like a turducken. Do you guys know what a turducken is? It's a turkey. No, it's a duck inside a chicken inside of a turkey.
Turducken.
Turducken. And why? Like, that is just, if that doesn't scream like America, I don't know what does. It's just pointless.
Okay, the original pie cakein
Okay.
is an epic mashup dessert handcrafted by chef Zach Young. And it features a layered trio of pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and spice cake, all bound together by a cinnamon buttercream, which is delicious, by the way, and crowned with apple pie filling. It is so good.
It is excessive and too much. I will take a pumpkin. I will take
a picture. Right?
I will take a pumpkin pie. I will take a pecan pie. I will take an apples or a spice cake individually. I don't want that mess all together.
You can separate it out
with the frosting that you said.
Oh, it's so good. It's a cinnamon brown sugar buttercream.
And then
delicious.
The thing on the top, you said the apple.
It's apple pie filling, and then there's also like apple like crumbles around the outside.
It's stupid.
It's amazing.
It's too much.
It's fantastic.
I am such a purist when it comes to this type of thing. I mean, I'll take an individual and I'll have a bite of each one, but I don't want a bite of all three together.
Can I tell you one of the traumatic times in my life surrounding the pie cakein?
Yes.
Okay, so Thanksgiving 2021. Mama was laid up in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to have to deliver Boone and no amniotic fluid, or almost none, very, very little. And so, they had on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, they were like, hey, we're definitely gonna have to deliver, but we're gonna keep monitoring you because we think he'll be okay until Friday. Do you want to wait until Friday? Because that's when your doctor, can be there. I was like, yes, obviously, if anything, we're monitoring all the time. So if anything went down, they whoever was on call was gonna be there, but otherwise, we're gonna deliver on Friday. So first of all, that might have been my best Thanksgiving ever.
Laid up in the hospital
Laid up in the hospital by myself. Also, the hospital had a Thanksgiving dinner, which was delicious. And so I got to eat that. And then my family came and brought me all of their Thanksgiving dinners. So I had 2 Thanksgiving dinners. But let me tell you what they
cook. You didn't have to clean.
Yes. I just laid there and watched whatever I watched on TV. But let me tell you what they did do. They brought me the smallest slice of the pie cakein I've ever seen.
That wouldn't have been on me.
Oh, no. I'm sure it was my husband.
So true.
Sorry, Jake. He's not going to listen to this.
He won't hear it. Yeah, it's fine.
But like microscopic slice, barely all of the elements included. And I was livid. Okay. I was like, do you understand what's happening here? And you brought me this. Okay. So they, then, did rectify that and just brought me the whole pie cakein up there the next day. Okay. And so it's sitting over there, I get to see it. I'm going to get to eat it after I deliver. Well, for those of you who don't know, Boone's delivery was absolute chaos.
Very traumatic.
I had placenta abruption. It was bleeding out. They couldn't get because I'd been in the hospital all those days. All of my veins were collapsing, so they couldn't get a blood transfusion. They were trying to get me a blood transfusion, couldn't. Very emergent C-section. I was not numb all the way. I could feel it, and they're trying to get a line in to get me a blood transfusion. All of that. Finally, get one in my foot. Then don't need the blood transfusion. Anyways, it was chaotic. Well, by the time we get to recovery. And get into an actual postpartum room, I'm going, where's the pie cakein? They left it in the L&D room and the people had already come and thrown it away.
Oh.
So there were other tragic things about Boone's birth. It was just terrible for me all around. But also I lost the pie cakein.
You lost the pie cakein, and that's what really sticks out. That's the memory.
That's embedded right here.
So we were going through the Thanksgiving menu today over text, and you said, and I said, Janie, you can be in charge of dessert, and you said pie cakein, and I said no. But get your pie cakein. I think I'm the only one that disagrees with it. Just fundamentally, I disagree with the pie cakein.
Then you know what? Everyone's bringing 3 desserts. We'll have more.
We'll have enough. But I have been really. I've had a hankering for an ooey gooey butter cake. So if you'll make one of those, all will be forgiven with the pie cakein.
Okay, but do you want it regular or do you want a pumpkin pie, ooey gooey butter cake?
Regular.
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 Unadulterated.
That's what I'm saying. Don't just give me the plain Jane. Just make it good, and that's it. I don't need all the fancy stuff. But let's see. I think Tim, our stepdad, and our brother are smoking the turkey.
No, the ham. I thought you were Bradley's
Doing the turkey. Tim and Jacob Allen
Yeah.
are doing the turkey.
Yeah.
Ham. God.
My goodness.
Okay. And then we're just all doing, whatever sides. I love the old school granny sides. I want the green bean casserole with the canned green beans, the cream of mushroom soup. You add a little milk in there. You add a little soy sauce that gives it that good rich flavor. You put in the French's fried onions. You mix that together. You top it with more fried onions. You bake it till it's bubbly and crispy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need fancy.
Yeah.
I don't want fancy. I want old grandma, like no nutritional value whatsoever to my Thanksgiving meal. I don't want it to be healthy. I'm not counting calories that day. I'm not cared about my macros. My what else are we? Protein intake. I'm not concerned about any of it.
Yeah.
I want the turkey gravy. I'm going to get the good yeast rolls.
It looks like our sister-in-law Amber's going to make homemade sourdough bread.
Which it sounds great and also healthy, but we'll eat it.
Yeah.
But also we're going to have some yeast rolls with, the gluten. And the mashed potatoes. Now, there's a controversy with the sweet potato casserole. I do not like marshmallows and nuts on mine.
What's the point?
Of having it without marshmallows and nuts?
Yeah.
Flavor and goodness.
No, that's incorrect. That's not the right way
I
to
don't
do it.
like nuts on hardly anything. And why would I put marshmallows on my sweet potatoes? This is not a candy bar.
It's sweet potato casserole. That's what it is.
I don't want. So I specifically put on the list, I'll be making this without the marshmallows. If anybody wants sweet potatoes with the marshmallows, y'all got to do it. It's not going to be me.
I do think I might get that
Great.
because yeah,
I don't want marshmallows.
I've got to have marshmallows and nuts.
Okay. Oh, God.
So just to clarify, though, I'm making an ooey gooey butter cake just for you, and you're already making sweet potato casserole, but you won't do a sliver that has pecans and marshmallows on it.
Oh, dang. Okay, maybe I'll pray about it and see what I can do.
Do half and half.
Oh, the half and half is never enough. I need a full thing because I eat on that mess for days. I love leftover sweet potato casserole. So
I'm going to bring you over my own Pyrex pie plate. So it's a smaller.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
then you can
Okay,
put the
and
pecans
then I'll make-
I'll bring you over my own bag of marshmallows. But you're going to make me do all of the sweet potatoes and all of that just because you won't carve out a little?
Okay. I'll do it.
WWJD.
Oh. WWJD. What would Janie do? Janie would buy a pie cake and force everyone to eat it when they don't want to because it's nasty.
I listen here. I will not be forcing anyone to eat that.
Okay. You're saving
because
it all
I'm
for
going to save it
yourselves.
for me.
And all of this back-breaking labor we're going to be doing the entire week of Thanksgiving. And what are our kids going to eat?
Chicken nuggets.
And rolls. Harper will get a slice of ham. She's 16 years old. She will get a slice of ham. And that's it. Now do you call it stuffing or dressing?
It's called stuffing because
Mom's is called dressing.
Mom does the cornbread dressing. I do a sourdough sausage, Italian sausage, and Parmesan stuffing. I guess it's still kind of like dressing because it didn't go in the turkey, but it is kind of like the stuff that goes in the turkey. Anyways, got the recipe years ago off of Epicurean or Epicurious. I can't remember what's the. Anyways, it's like their number one recipe on the site, and it's so good.
It's very fancy.
It's basically, Thanksgiving bread pudding.
Yes, and it's delicious. But Mom's making her just regular what you would think of dressing, just cornbread dressing. And we're just going to have a little bit of all of it, a little bit of everything.
Almost no carbs to be seen.
There will be nothing fresh. I can tell you that right now.
Nothing with nutritional value.
Nothing.
And yet we wonder, how could there be flu season?
Right.
With all of this nutrient-dense foods going around.
And you're saying, Holly, you will put marshmallows on the sweet potatoes that already have butter and brown sugar in them.
Yeah.
You're going to add marshmallows to that now.
Pecan, the pecans.
Now, we're not a cranberry sauce family.
We're not.
Will we have it?
I don't know. If we do, I'm just in for the canned kind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want fancy.
No.
Like, give me
But
Jell-O.
I don't remember having cranberry sauce. I mean, I guess we'll have a can of it.
Yeah.
We're not a cranberry sauce kind of family. But there will be a dozen desserts. There will be more food than we can eat. We will be all piled up at Mom's house that day. And we'll watch all the football. And the kids will go outside and fish and play outside. And it'll be great. And I know what I'm wearing.
Oh, you have an outfit planned. I was planning on doing my pajamas, but go ahead.
Well, I have a T-shirt that I ordered online because the Instagram got me.
Gobble, gobble.
No, it says green bean casserole.
Oh, I saw that and almost bought it for you.
Yeah. See, jinx again. I'm wearing a green bean casserole T-shirt.
Yeah, you guys do not understand how serious this girl is about her green bean casserole.
It is nothing but Campbell's out of a can. I promise you.
It's very important to her.
It is. Well, and because it's very important to my husband.
Well, and one year she tried to do like a fancy take on it.
I knew we were going to get to this.
And it did not work out.
No.
And it literally ruined our entire Thanksgiving.
Because it really did. Because we saw on the Instagrams and I sent it to you and I'm like, let's do this.
I'm like, yeah.
Individual little like green bean casserole muffins.
Well, it's like in a muffin cup, and I think wasn't it like there's like a Ritz crust or something
cracker
like that
situation.
Yeah, and then
let me tell you should not do that.
No, and then you put the casserole filling in there and whatever. And I mean, really, the recipe. I remember you like making it going. This can't be right. It's like instead of it gave the wrong quantities.
Oh, it was a horrible. The recipe was incorrect, and so then I'm trying to figure out how to salvage it after I did it according to the recipe, and it didn't work, and it ruined my Thanksgiving. So that's when I said, forget this fancy mess. I don't want anything fancy. I want it old school, like my mama made it. I want everything out of a can. I want all the sodium. I want all the preservatives. I want all the MSG. Just put it in there and let's all eat it and be happy.
But I do think you do got to put more of the crunchy onions on top.
Oh, I always do that.
Yeah.
I always do that.
Like no such thing as too much.
That's correct. I always do
go
more,
all the way.
Yes. We don't. We go hard in the paint with the crunchies, with the fried onions, and also with the brown sugar cinnamon topping on the sweet potato.
Yeah,
I double that because I want it almost like a creme brulee. Like I got to crack that thing to get down into the bottom of it. Yeah. I want that crunch on the top.
You know what helps with crunch?
Nope.
Pecans.
No nuts. I knew you were going to say it, and no nuts. I don't want nuts on my sweet potatoes. I just want the cinnamon and the sugar and the butter and the brown sugar. And that's it. So, anyways, but I will do some for you, Janie.
I'll bring you over my own pan.
Because I love you so much. Or I'll just go get all of the disposable pans.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to go.
So we don't have to worry about whose pan is whose and getting them back and all that kind of stuff.
I will tell you that's the hack, ladies. You've probably already bought all your things by the time this is coming out, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they have like a 30-pack of the disposable foil pans
Aluminum pans
at Costco.
Yeah.
You're just going to get that. And
then you're going to take...
Especially where the sweet potatoes are concerned.
Correct.
Because when you put the marshmallows on top and it's delicious, that's also when it sticks to your pan.
Oh, yeah. But also then you're going to take some of those empty pans with you to Thanksgiving, and then you can load up leftovers in it and take it home.
Yeah.
You can get a little bit of everything, load up the leftovers, and take it home.
Yeah, the foil pans at the Costco are great. They do also have them in a lot more different size choices at Walmart, I will let you know.
Okay.
But when you're buying in bulk, you get to save a little bit. But if you're not if you're trying to get a variety of sizes, Walmart's your spot. If you're just trying
Do
to
they
get a
have
lot,
packs with the size varieties, like where they're all packaged
yes,
together?
they do.
Okay.
And they have some with like toppers. I mean, you can get really what we call in the restaurant business quarter pans
Yeah.
sizes. So that's where I do go sometimes to get catering supplies is Walmart.
Okay, that's good to know. All right,
welcome.
good to know. Well, now that we've filled you in on our entire Thanksgiving menu, we just, are excited to get into this lesson today. This is our last week of the podcast until 2026. This is our last week of season 4.
Wow.
We've got today and then Thursday, and we haven't recorded Thursday's episode yet as we're recording this one, but it's going to be a hoot. I already know.
A hoot and a holler.
We have one of the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah.
That's going to be with us. And I cannot wait for y'all to meet
Y'all are
her.
in for a treat.
A treat on Thursday, which is going to be Thanksgiving. So listen to us while you're cooking or whatever, or, listen to us later. But it's going to be a happy Thanksgiving episode. That's not going to be about Thanksgiving at all. It's going to be about Proverbs 31:19, which is what we're studying today. When I got to this verse, initially when I was teaching it at Bible study, I was like, the who, the what, the heck. Like, how do I teach this? What does this even mean? It seems like it's out of left field. It seems like it's out of total context for the flow that we've had so far. I didn't understand what it meant. And again, that's where I had to get, and I'm not giving you any Hebrew today. So let me tell you that right now, because it doesn't matter. The Hebrew on this, I'm sure it does matter, but it doesn't. Aww. Because it means what it says, but what does it mean? Okay, so let's read Proverbs 31:19. It says, she extends her hands to the spinning staff, and her hands hold the spindle. What does that have anything to do with us?
She sews things?
She sews. This always makes me think of
I already know.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
When she pricks the spindle of this
Princess Aurora
spinning wheel. Then she went under the curse in Maleficent and all that kind of stuff. Y'all remember that? When Disney classic movies, I love them. But I always think about the spindle of the spinning wheel. She pricked her finger on the spindle of the spinning wheel. And it was her middle finger. And I just remembered the animation of her finger so well. And her nails were beautiful. Of course, they were animated. But what does it mean? She extends her hands to the spinning staff and her hands hold the spindle. Well, I had to go back and research what exactly all of this meant in the times of the ancient Near East. Because remember, this was written in a specific time, in a specific culture, in a specific context for a specific audience. So everyone who read this proverb back in the day when it was written understood what this meant, because they were familiar with what a spinning staff was and what a spindle was and what does it and why it matters. So obviously none of this necessarily applies to us contextually today, but it does apply very spiritually today, if that makes sense. So I want to give you just a little overview of what I've learned about the spindle and the spinning staff. So here we go. The distaff or the spinning staff, depending on which translation you're reading, is a tool that was used to hold unspun fibers of wool and flax. So that's the spinning staff. It holds the unspun fibers of wool and flax. The spindle is where the material is stretched and then rotated into thread. So the spinning staff or the distaff holds the unspun elements, the unspun fibers, wool and flax. The spindle stretches it and twists it or rotates it into thread. that you can then use that thread for sewing.
To make sure your servants are doubly clothed.
Correct. The process of making yarn begins by using one hand to hold the distaff or the spinning staff where the wool is attached, while pulling a section of the wool out with the other hand. Each section of wool must be carefully twisted and pulled down to attach it to the spindle, allowing the weight of the spindle to pull the fibers out of the compacted wool. The fibers then begin to spin around the spindle. During this process, the distaff or the spinning staff must be held with one hand, and the other hand must keep the fibers from tangling.
Huh?
Right.
Do we get like a diagram?
I mean, I'm giving diagrams with my hands right now, but for those listening and not watching, it's going to be difficult. We've got two machines. We've got the spinning staff and we've got the spindle. The spinning staff holds the fibers of the wool and the flax, and the spindle, these fibers have to be pulled tight by hand and then attached to the spindle. They have to stay untangled, and they get attached to the spindle, and they get rotated or twisted into yarn, and this requires both hands. This requires concentration. Now, when I taught this initially at Bible study, I asked...
This staff kind of looks like a cotton candy.
A cotton candy?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's the wool fibers and the flax fibers are compacted, so they'll look like cotton candy. Exactly. Yeah. And you have to take your fingers and pull those fibers out and like stretch them and untangle them and attach them to the spindle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a good reference. Cotton candy. I like that.
I'm now looking at a picture.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the gist of it is you have to hold this one.
You have to use both. You have to use both hands.
You have to use both hands. Okay. So when I first...
That it really does. Some of the new ones really do look like the Sleeping Beauty thing.
Right. So when I mentioned this at Bible study, I just asked, just after kind of going over the illustration of what this looks like, kind of describing it, I asked the ladies, I said, what do you think is the spiritual significance of this? And a few women said, we need to be good at multitasking. And I said, I hear what you're saying, and I can see how you would think that, but I think it's the complete opposite of that. I think it's telling us we have to figure out what our priorities are and put both hands on that priority.
On one thing.
Our concentration and both hands go toward that priority. Mm-hmm. What is the priority? It's going to get all my attention and both of my hands working in order to accomplish this goal. So what is the goal? What is the physical goal of the spindle and the spinning staff? It's to create yarn. Well, why are we creating yarn? To create clothing. For who? Our households. Okay, so this is describing a concentrated diligence towards specific tasks, and in this instance, it's clothing the household. So not all jobs and projects are meant to be multitasked. There are some things that we can do, and women, we're excellent at this, at multitasking, doing multiple things at once. And life demands it often that we do multiple things at once. And we're good at it. We're built for it. We are built for multitasking.
You know what? I really think, though, that the elementary schools these days need to let the mamas be focused on one thing. Because the amount of events and things...
Yeah.
This week, it's, Boone has the school snacks. And Boone also, we're celebrating his birthday in class. And Banner has a balloon parade.
Why do we have a balloon parade?
And you have to craft onto a balloon. I literally sent this to my mom and I said, I am not doing this. If y'all have never seen someone worse at crafting than yours truly. I mean, literally, your 3-year-old that can't even hold scissors the right way, better than me, guaranteed.
This is true.
So bad at it.
Yeah, this
And
is
I
true.
was literally like, I'm not doing this. And she was like, I will handle it. And but a balloon parade. And then we
never had a balloon parade with my kids.
And then we got to do the Operation Christmas Child boxes.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
due
yeah,
this
yeah.
week. And then you got to have, each one of the kids has a Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah.
And then Byron has a Thanksgiving play. Apparently I was supposed to bring a pillow sheet. What is it? Yeah, a pillowcase. Didn't do that.
It's too much.
I would like to not have to put my hands on all of those things.
Correct.
I'd like
Correct.
to focus on the freaking spindle.
Right. And the distaff.
And the distaff.
By God. It's too much. But that's the point. Like, we're built for...
We are able to do this, so everybody's like, do it.
So do it. Because just in life, we're expected to multitask. And so, we multitask. We do a million different things at once. And it gets to be crazy. The point of this verse is there are certain things that we cannot multitask. We cannot do it and focus on something else. This one thing here, we have to be singularly focused on. We can't have any distractions. We can't have anything else happening around us because it requires both hands and our eyes and our ears and everything about us engaged on this task. So, you going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. They're both hands and full attention are necessary for this job. So the fruit of this specific thing, the spinning staff and the spindle of getting our yarn ready for making clothes, the fruit of this labor will produce plenty of yarn, which would be used to sew clothes for her family and her household in the future, to ensure that her family and her household are clothed in the future. And Janie, you are exactly right. There's going to come a verse here at the beginning of next season where it says her household are doubly clothed. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means and what it means in the Hebrew to be doubly clothed. To be clothed is actually what it means. But in order for her household to be doubly clothed, everyone in her household to be doubly clothed, she's got to have yarn. She has to make sure this is a priority. This is utmost importance because winter is coming. And I feel like Game of Thrones every time I say that, winter is coming. But winter is coming. And my household will be doubly clothed. It says in the verse coming up, they're not afraid when it snows because their household is doubly clothed. Okay, so winter is coming, weather is coming, storms are coming. My household needs to be doubly clothed. Therefore, I've got to make sure that I have plenty of yarn to sew clothing for my children and my husband and my entire household. Okay, so we're now seeing kind of a thread. Yes.
That was a good pun.
Pun intended.
Way
We're
to
now
go.
seeing what we thought was out of context with the spindle and the spinning staff is not out of context at all. It perfectly fits within Proverbs 31. Why? Because we read in verse 13, she selects what?
Wool and flax.
Willing
hands.
With willing hands, with diligent hands. These same diligent hands, joyful hands, delightful hands that she's selecting wool and flax with, she's using now both of these hands at the spinning staff and the spindle to make sure that this wool and this flax that she has selected is being turned into yarn. And then we're going to see a little bit later on for her to doubly clothe her family. So there's a thread here of I'm selecting the wool and flax with diligent hands. I'm spinning this into yarn, and then I'm going to make it into clothing for my household. So, but remember, it all began, though, with she selects wool and flax.
With willing hands, yeah.
With willing hands. Mm-hmm. So she had to do that first. And so the selecting, it was a diligent process of selecting wool and flax with willing hands, with joyful hands, with delighted hands, because she knew the process that was about to take place in order to end up with clothing for her family. But remember what the wool and the flax represent? They represent, the flax represents the righteous deeds of the saints. The wool represents purity and the presence of the Lord. Okay. So we know that this woman has spent time in the presence of the Lord, dwelling in the presence of the Lord. And when you do that, that produces righteous acts, good works. Faith without works is dead. So when we have faith, when we're dwelling with the Lord, when we're walking in his presence daily, that will produce righteous acts. So there we see the wool and the flax. And so she's focused on these things with both of her hands, with weaving together a tapestry, if you will, for her family to doubly clothe them in the future for the storms that are happening. And how is she doing this? By abiding with the word, with the Lord, abiding in the word, abiding with the Lord, and obeying him, righteous acts, obedience. Those two things, that's your right hand and your left hand. When you focus on those two things and your hands are both working in tandem, all your attention, this is your priority. I'm not letting anything else get in the way of my time with the Lord and obeying him. That is what is going to ensure that your family or the people within your influence are doubly clothed when you're dwelling with the Lord and obeying him. So when it says she extends her hands to the spinning staff and her hands hold the spindle, in this moment, what she's doing, this priority right here, nothing else matters. She's got a vineyard.
Yeah.
She's got merchant ships.
Yeah.
She's got all the.
She got a field.
She's got a field. There's other businesses in here that we haven't even gotten to yet. She makes belts, for one thing.
Because why wouldn't she?
Right. She's got a husband
at the city gate
who is in a prominent position.
Yeah.
She's serving him. But at this moment,
she
right
sure got
here,
some kids.
She got lots of kids. At this moment, right here, she knows winter is coming and my household needs to be clothed. And the most important thing I can do is spend time with the Lord in his word and obey him whatever he tells me to do. That's the righteous acts of the saints, where we get the flax, and which becomes the linen that we read. And if you missed that that lesson, go back and listen to Proverbs 31:13.
You know, I think it'd be good for you to link Michael Bethany's song "Set My Eyes."
Okay.
To this one, just in general, it's such a great song. But the bridge is so great. It's one of those songs I like to play and worship to before I have my daily encounter, because it says in the bridge, it says, I won't be distracted. And y'all, I got the ADHD, so I'm just distracted all the time.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
So, you know, the bridge says, I won't be distracted. It's all about you. You're the center of attraction. All of my hope and all of my focus on you.
Yeah.
It's such a good song, but that's one that I sing a lot and worship to a lot before I open the word. 'Cause I'm like, okay, Lord, you gave me this brain and it's psycho. So if you'll just, here for a minute, get it to focus on you.
Yeah.
Super appreciate it.
Yeah.
Please
No
and
doubt.
thanks.
Yeah. And that's the whole point, because like with all of this stuff that our kids are involved in, all of the different things at school that you were listing, all of the sports, I just found out James signed himself up for wrestling. So now he's wrestling.
That is so fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you gonna, you do a bad job at telling me when your kids have things. You never tell me.
Oh, I don't, because I just assume you're not going to come.
Well, give me a chance.
Okay.
My kids,
I'm just like, you don't have to come. Like, it's a lot.
No, but my kids, especially, we don't like to play favorites.
Uh-huh.
But James is.
Oh, of course. James is your kid's favorite.
Yeah, the kids, sure. Whatever he's doing, they want to come and cheer.
Yes, I know. And wrestling, I will let you know about that, because I think your boys would get a kick out of watching him wrestle.
Oh, for sure. And then they do some demonstrations of their own.
Oh, for sure.
Boone could probably. Did I ever tell the Boone story?
No.
Here?
No, you have to. You guys, this is one of the funniest things. I tell this story everywhere I go. I told this story last weekend when I was in Virginia with Ava and Greta and Harper, and we took Ava's friends out to dinner, and Ava had not heard this story. Harper and Greta had, but Ava had not.
Was she crying?
Ava about lost her mind, and her friends are all sitting there going, like, that's funny, haha. And Ava's like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Okay, so tell the story.
Okay, so just in general, Boone is wrestling. He might be wrestling some imaginary friend
Right.
with himself.
Right.
Or, whatever kid he finds around. Ask me how many times he has gotten in trouble at all of his schools he's been at for wrestling.
I mean, since he could walk.
And we always try and tell him you're not supposed to wrestle at school. But, in his mind, this is how I say, I love you. You're my friend.
Yes.
Can we connect?
Yes.
That's his love
Oh,
language.
he'll come up and try to wrestle me, and he's just wanting to get up in my business and play with me.
Yes.
And he's just because we're buddies.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's literally his love language.
Yes.
And Byron loves to do that too. So this is why, they're close. And Byron and Boone one night are wrestling. We were actually at my mom's, and she has this like pallet thing on the floor. So they're wrestling on this pallet thing, and Boone essentially jumps on top of Byron with his, genitalia region right on Byron's face.
With his kibble and bits.
Yes. And just out of nowhere, he puts all that on Byron's face
Smacks
and then
Byron
in the face
with his kibble and bits.
with that, and then goes, Byron, smell my pull up.
Smell my pull up is one of the best lines of all time.
Smell my pull up.
Smell my pull up. I mean, just thumping him in the face with it.
Yeah.
Smell my pull up. Ava lost it when I told her that. And her friends were sitting there going, is this normal? Like, what is wrong with this child? What's wrong with this kid? And we were like, my kids got it because of course they know Boone and they know the situation, but it was, watching Ava's reaction to that was the best thing I'd ever heard. So yeah, Byron, smell my pull up.
With his pecker on his face. Oh, man.
God.
So
That's
great.
excellent. That is excellent.
And this is how boys are different than girls.
Boys are built different. They're built different.
They are built different from day one.
Yeah.
The Lord made us male and female.
Yeah, that's right.
We ain't the same. Hallelujah.
Amen. Because none of my girls ever told each other to smell my pull up.
No. Or put their private area on somebody else's face.
No, never, never.
I mean, on their face.
On it. Oh, God, it's so great. It's so great. Kids are the best. Okay.
What are we even talking about?
We were talking about James wrestling.
James wrestling,
So
which we were
James-
talking about because you didn't know about.
Right.
Got it.
Well, James signed himself up for wrestling once football season was over, and I was like, oh, and he's like, he loves it. He loves it, and he's never wrestled before, has no clue, but he is strong. He is so strong.
And he's very tall. I'd imagine he's probably going to be, breakout star.
Yeah. So he's there's a 9th grade team, a JV and varsity, and he's in 9th grade, but he's thinking they might move him up to JV. So we'll see. But anyways, I'll let you know about that. But all that to say, our kids, you've got your kids, all their stuff going on. My kids got all their stuff going on. And even last week, I lamented over I'm to the stage now where my kids sign themselves up for things like when your kids are your age, if their schedule is busy, that's your fault,
right?
But now I'm like, wait, you sign yourself up for what now?
Yeah.
And then I'll have to go like unenroll them if it's too much for us or whatever. But all that to say, there's so many different things that seem important, and they are important, but they're not the main thing. The main thing is, are my kids clothed for the times that are to come? Meaning, are they clothed in righteousness? Are they clothed in the armor of God? And how do I make sure my kids are clothed and ready and prepared for the time to come when, winter is coming or storms are coming? How do I know? I have to handle the yarn myself for my house, which means I have to go and gather the wool and the flax for my household. And I have to be diligent to spin it into yarn and diligent to make clothing for my family. That's our responsibility to set the tone and to set ourselves in alignment with the kingdom and ask the Lord for that to cover our household. That's our job to spend time in the Word of God. That's our job to pray, to be in His presence every day, to walk in obedience. That's our job. That's our job. That is how we can ensure that our children are clothed. There are so many things that are vying for our attention, even good things, where our kids are concerned. But as women and as mothers, there is one priority, that our kids love the Lord and love others. That's the priority that all of our attention and both our hands need to be focused on. And when you said that is the priority, say this is the spinning staff, this is the spindle, it really helps you figure out what I can say yes and what I can say no to. And what I love about our interview on Thursday, it's her name is Danis, and she is she's going to tell you about herself, but she is single and does not have children, but she works extensively with teens. And so I wanted to have her on because, like we've said from the beginning, yes, Proverbs 31 is describing a bride, but this applies to all of us, whether you're married, single, children, no children, doesn't matter. This applies to all of us. And so I want to make sure we're including those of you that aren't married or don't have children, and also holding you accountable to this as well.
Because I think that the thing that really struck me is, she's going in and selecting the wool and flax, which we talk about being, the presence of God and spending time in His presence. But she's not just storing up a barn full of wool and flax.
Right.
She's turning it into something useful.
Yes.
Because a bunch of wool and a bunch of flax in and of itself is not useful.
Right.
It can't do anything.
Right.
It doesn't help anybody.
Right.
It doesn't clothe them.
Right.
You can't just throw flax seeds on people and look, they're doubly clothed.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You got to turn it into something useful. And so I just think that's really, it's really striking to me because, if you are just really great at spending time with the Lord, but it doesn't ever affect anybody around you,
there's got to be
you're
fruit.
doing it wrong.
It's got to produce something.
Yeah.
There's got to be fruit. It's faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
That's it. There's got to be fruit from what you're doing.
And I just think in general, that is the key difference between the God of the Bible and what He calls us to do versus like a lot of other religions.
Right.
If you look at like Hinduism, it's about me ascending up the caste system.
Yeah.
If you look at like New Age, it's about self-care.
Yeah.
I am a God. I have God in me, so it's all about myself. And, this one says, he who wants to be great among you must be servant of all.
Yeah.
So it's just everything is backwards from the way the world does it.
Yes. Yes. And also, I think that something that would be looked down upon maybe in that society is someone who has to sew clothes, because maybe that was something that a servant did. If someone was wealthy or had servants or had someone back in this day and age, you could farm that out to somebody else.
That's a great point.
And
she clearly was
she was a wealthy woman.
Right.
She had servants. She had female servants.
Oh, that's a good
one.
But
she's doing the work for her family.
That's a Rhema word. That's a good one.
Yeah. She's this clothing my family for the future is not somebody else's job.
That reminds me of, in Luke, the 10 virgins, there were 5 wicked virgins and then 5 whole, good virgins.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called, but they were ready.
Yeah. They stayed ready with oil.
Yeah. And they had the oil. And the ones that didn't have the oil said, can we have some? They said, no, you got to buy it yourself.
Yeah.
And so they were all sleeping. And so a lot of people say, you got to stay alert. Well, that is true. But also, we don't know when the groom is coming. At some point, you do have to take a nap.
You do have to sleep.
Jesus took a nap.
Yeah.
So sometime you got to take a nap.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the difference. The difference was some had oil and some did not.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things you got to buy for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't borrow
that
someone's
from somebody
anointing.
else.
You can't borrow someone's, relationship with the Lord. You got to have one for yourself.
It's my job to cover my household in this way. I'm not farming this out to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not dropping my kids off at church on Sunday morning saying, I hope this sticks. And,
Yeah.
and picking them up and bringing them home. And that's that. You check that
good.
off the list. This woman who was wealthy, who had a household staff, who had servants, she could have easily farmed off the sewing and the pulling and the spinning of the yarn to somebody else, but she did it herself. Because she wanted to ensure the quality and the quantity of what was being made and what was going to be covering her children. Again, because she is inspecting things. She is selecting the wool and flax. She's doing that. She's not sending her servants to do that. She is evaluating the field. She is the one, she's got her hands in it all, but she's got her hands working towards the priority, which is keeping her family covered. So, when you read this verse at a glance, it's like, again, that has nothing to do with me. What does it even mean? I don't understand it. It doesn't apply to me, but it just does. It just applies to all of us.
Yeah.
And especially with the storyline and the arc of the story that we have here with this Proverbs 31 woman, and we see these themes that keep coming up, and we see she's selecting the wool and flax, she's working with willing hands, she's got both of these hands happily at the spindle and the spinning staff doing this. We're going to see later what she does with this yarn and the significance of that. It all weaves together into this beautiful picture of this woman. But it's the same thing for us. Our diligence with our time with the Lord, our diligence with obedience to Him, righteous acts, our faith and our works, our diligence with all of this is what is going to clothe our families and produce fruit, produce beautiful garments that cover our families when storm comes. Our families will be safe. So I really did love this lesson and having to figure out, what is a spindle? What is a spinning staff? Why do I care? Why do I have to teach this? Why is this in the Bible? Well, it's important. It just is. So any thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, queries, quandaries? Is that a word?
No. Do you remember, though, the other one it makes me think of is Rumpelstiltskin.
What were those old movies that we used to watch?
With Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. What were those?
Playhouse Theater.
Was it Playhouse Theater? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, those
were
were so scary.
Were they? I was gonna say they're so good. I mean,
No.
anytime we would go to Blockbuster,
That's what we got.
we'd be getting one of those.
We got Rumpelstiltskin. We got the princess or the Princess and the Pea. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the 10 Dancing Sisters.
Oh yeah.
What was that one called? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't remember. But I know
they
what
would
you're
go
talking
somewhere
about.
every night
And they would
come back-
dance.
and they would come back with their shoes all
With their
worn
shoes
out.
messed up. Yeah.
And they couldn't figure it out. King wanted to know, where are these daughters going?
Right. And they were going to dance. Oh man, I remember all of that. Yeah, and Shelley Duvall was in all of them.
Yeah.
And her teeth. I shouldn't have said that.
Bless her.
Forgive me, Lord.
But she was in Rumpelstiltskin.
She had some dental issues, and clearly she was making money.
spinning that hay into gold.
That's right. Golly, I forgot about all that. Okay, well, maybe we should look that up. I'm sure they're on the YouTubes. See, just go look at them. But that's it. Here's what I want you ladies to do. Get your Thanksgiving menus ready.
Definitely go get those disposable pans.
And order your pie cakins.
Yeah.
And you have to order those. We're not making those, right?
Yeah. No, you definitely not making
Okay, yeah,
it.
you're
you're
ordering
definitely ordering it, and you if you're listening to this now, you've missed your
Probably
chance.
too late.
But I mean, to get it for Thanksgiving, but you can order it anytime. They're on
can.
Gold Belly, and it will bless you. It will. Don't listen to her.
They're nasty.
She got a root of bitterness in there. We're going to root it out.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
They're nasty.
Y'all go get yourself a pie cake. And the Thanksgiving one, they have a few other ones, not as good. Very disappointing. The original Thanksgiving pie cake is the word of the Lord.
Okay, so we're going to have great Thanksgiving. We're going to be back on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day with the beautiful, wonderful Danis, who is one of the top 3 funniest people I've ever met.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're going to have some
We're
laughs.
going to have a time.
Yeah. You can guarantee that. Y'all can listen while you're in the kitchen getting all your dishes together for your family meal. But we love you, ladies, and we'll see you back here on Thursday. Sisters with Swords is produced and edited by Holly Knight. Original music by the Minister of Funk and Husband of the Year, Bradley Knight. Artwork by Holly Knight. And dinner tonight will also be provided by Holly Knight. Please subscribe and share this podcast with your friends, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Sisters with Swords. We're cheering you on, sister. Go wield your sword.